Hey, Pearl, how are you today? Hey, and here's Minnie. Look at the pretty flowers I just planted. What? Oh, you're right. I almost forgot. Another day of soul care.
Hello, everybody. Long time no see. I'm back. I'm back in the USA. Oh, I just pulled my nail. Oof, gross. I won't show you. Hello, everyone, and happy, fall, autumn here in the US. And I'm back on US soil. It's been about, well, almost a week. So I'm still a little bit jet lagged, but I wanted to come on today and see everybody. It's been a long time. Hi, Lena. Hi, Angel. Yes, thank you. I shared the photos. I'm glad you enjoyed them. It was fun. Hi, Benjamin. Hi, Deanne. Helfel, Cynthia Hudson. It was a great experience. 4 countries in 2 weeks. A lot of work and a lot of just running around, moving from hotel to hotel and lugging the big luggage around and bringing up staircases and elevators and all that fun stuff. Diana Brown, when do you know it's time to put a dog down? Let's just jump right into it. Diana, yeah, it's hard. Each individual case is different. I got to tell you that. So it depends on the circumstances. But I will tell you one thing, that animals, they shouldn't be in pain. It's my own personal belief. I put my dog Maisie down. And it was very, very hard because the human part of you wants to hold on to that. But I always say, what's the highest and the best way to deal with this, as far as what is the most compassionate way? And I found that no pain is the best way. And so it's time, when there's pain in the animal, I would think, to just bring it down then. And humans too, by the way. I feel that way with humans as well. So I don't think any of us need to suffer in pain at the end of our life. So it's up to each individual when they make that choice. Yeah. Hi, our favorite jet setter. Thanks, Barbara. Yes, well, jet setting around. I'm not used to flying in anymore, so that was really interesting. I'm not used to being around a lot of people at one time too. That was really interesting. I was kind of thrown into that because it was pre-COVID before I went out. Like a year before that, I'd been out, but otherwise I hadn't been anyplace. So it was a little bit of an adjustment for me, and I'm so happy my friend Janelle Campbell came with me, because that made it much easier. And we are very calm. Share a lot of commonalities. So it made it great with her there. And with Gordon Smith too, the medium that I worked with. It was great with Gordon and his friends there. That was really a great time we had. And a lot of fun people, lovely mediums, medium students. And it was great. Really, really wonderful. Hello, Merjam from Switzerland. I can't stop talking about Switzerland. It was my favorite country of the tour that we did. Well, I must say that the crowd in Ireland, the Dublin people were great. Dubliners were great, really, really great. Thank you, Roseanne. Thank you. I want to let everybody know, if you didn't know about it, tomorrow is the beginning of the free live animal course. That's tomorrow. I wanted to talk about that. So it's Animal Friends with myself and Danielle McKinnon, who is an incredible animal communicator. I've been doing that for 30 years. I'm going to read you this press release here. It's the first live call for Spiritual Animal Friends tomorrow. And I'd love for you guys to be there. It's a free course if you can. And I'm also offering an extra bonus to people who sign up today. So it's a free ticket to our Holiday Light Evening of Spirit event. So I'm going to be doing readings for the people that sign up on this early. So a free ticket to our Holiday Lights Evening of Spirit event on December the 1st. So that'll get you right into that. So it's all there. So if you go to JP School of Mystical Arts, I think Renee is going to put the link up there. You just press on that and you can get in there. You can register. Hi, Roberta from Michigan. Oh, Raj has the same birthday as I do, and you're identical twin. Oh my goodness. There it is. So under my name there's a link for the animal course tomorrow, and for the tomorrow's a free live course. We have to register because we need to know how many people we have. And it's really interesting because I'm writing my new book right now, and the new book is called My Life Has Gone to the Dogs. And it's very interesting how I talk about the old times of things, the old world and the new world. And one constant which we have is the love from animals, unconditional love. So that's going to be a part of this lovely course that we're talking about, the animal course. We'll talk a lot about that. And also including in the animal course, and we teach you, or remind you, I should say, how to telepathically connect with your animal, how to telepathically create a thought, create that lovely thought and project it from your mind to the mind of the animal. much easier communication with animals and humans, because humans tend to have a lot of walls up and judgments and control issues, where animals do not. Animals definitely have a personality, that's for sure. But there are definitely ways that you can open up that space from yourself to the animal. I do with Pearl all the time. She's right over here. And you can just really connect with them. And it's so interesting because it's so subtle. It's so interesting. I'll be sitting down reading a book, and all of a sudden I have to turn because Pearl's energy is there. She's saying, "Come on, I want to go out." And I look over at her. She's by the door, hasn't said a thing. And the more you use that, the more you connect the communication that wise, the easier it'll become. So, going to give you ways of tuning into your animal friends, feeling the sense of what they're about, who they are, the energy they're carrying, their personality traits. So that's going to be part of the course. It's going to be real exciting. So if you're interested in sharing a career, animal communication. So here we go. The course, if you really want to connect with your animals. So this is what's included in the course: 4 live interactive videos. I'll be teaming up with Daniel McKinnon and share secrets, communicate with animals of all kinds. Now, this is really interesting. We're going to do a little bit differently than we used to, not only on the earth, but also in the afterlife. How you can contact with your loved ones in the afterlife, your animal beings in the afterlife. I recently just brought through a horse, and I brought through a doggy, 2 doggies for an audience member. So they were so much easier to come through with. Then there are 5 on-demand video lessons that will teach you about animal communication, pet healing, pet mediumship. You'll hear incredible animal communication stories, explore the world of pet healing, and learn tried and true animal communication techniques. Plus, one last live workshop. Daniel and I will deliver a personal message about your pet's health, happiness, and state of mind. So that's personal for each person. So sign up now with the JVP School of Mystical Arts, and you got it. And then tonight, on Both Sides Now and Beyond, with Kelly White, my good friend, we're going to have the wonderful Danielle McKinnon, my co-host, my co-teacher of the animal course. She'll be on tonight discussing about animals, about our course, about contacting animals, telepathic connections, all the things we're going to cover in the course. So she'll be on tonight also to talk about our course. So please join us tonight here at 6:00. Okay. And what else is there? Yeah, that's about it there. And yes, Miko, I thought it was free. The first call is free. First one is free. 400 for the course, but the first night is a free online moment. Okay. Hi, Heather. Francis, when will the Mediumship 2 course take place? It's going to be starting next week, so you can go for it now and sign up with your name on there. We get started next week. Heather, hi, James. I'd like to know if you can tap in and connect with plethora of spirits or guides with me and find out. Oh, good. Thank you. With me and find out who the new arrival is has been sending me messages. So, Heather, I would ask you to do that. And I would say you have to quiet your mind and become aware so much of the space around you. You become very familiar with this space that you're able to tell the subtle differences, different characteristics that are coming in. That's something for you to really open up yourself to doing that. It wouldn't be right for me to do it because I'm one step away from you, but you can easily do that. So just let yourself explore that space above you and around you. And what does it feel like? And if you have to connect with your own guides that you're aware of, stay with them for a little bit. Maybe in a couple of days, then tune in again to that space, become aware of any new guide that comes through, come to the forward, come in the front, and let me feel the new energy. That's how you find out. So it's a quick method, but it would be up for you. Yeah, good luck. Okay. Sandra Weber, when my little rat animal died some time ago, a day later, a friend mailed me and said, I dreamed about that last night. Okay. All right. You came to my door and lots of funny rats entered my house. I said, last Eve, my animal died, but glad she told me about her dream because then I knew my animal was connected with this soul tribe group. Yeah, there you go. It's just validation for us, isn't it, Sandra? So no one ever dies alone, whether it's the animal kingdom or the human kingdom. No one ever dies alone. I just can tell you about it. My animal passed away, my Maisie. It was just devastating for me. But it's very interesting because humans react the same way, I find, especially children when they first pass over. And they're wondering, why are we so sad and upset? Because they're so happy. They're alive. They're happy. I don't know if they think of it as dead or alive. They just know they're happy in this new space. It's almost like you take off the cloak, the overcoat, and they're free. And that's more of the feeling I get when I see them when they've just passed out of the physical world into the spiritual. Just dropping that physical shell is really what it is. But that love, the essence of the animal is still there, as are the humans too. And I remember children, again, like animals, children are so open. I'll never forget when many, many times where children have said to me, Mommy, why do you stare at the ground? Dirt, I'm not the dirt, Mommy. I'm not the dirt. Or, Daddy, why do you have me in a jar? Why are you looking at the jar and calling my name? I'm not there, Daddy. I'm right next to you. So that happens all the time. Just think of all the illusions as human beings live in, right? Live with and live in, and that take away from our truth. And those illusions, those limitations make us sad, and they shouldn't. We should be the opposite about death. It really is an awakening. It's an opening. It's connecting. It's going back home. And that's the way we should try to look at it. It would really help everybody if they knew that there is no death and that you'll see your loved ones again for sure. Yeah. Barbara, good question. Barbara Gregory says, do you know how old, do you know approximately how old our souls are? That's a very good question. Eternal, I guess, would be the only answer to that. So I think you're looking at it, Barbara, and this is a good way to learn. So we have to be careful when we look at these questions that we're not putting the human essence, the human laws on it, or human insights. So because the human is very limited, the human being, this little three-dimensional world is a box. It's the human box. A soul is much more than that. A soul is way beyond the human. So there is no such thing as time in the other levels of consciousness. So how can we measure consciousness? It's hard to put human traits and laws into a sixth or seventh dimension. It doesn't work that way. It's hard. So let's just say they're eternal, and souls age. It's really experiences of the souls. And another part of it is, of course, quantum physics, where you can experience several things at once, several space at once, several places at once, several lifetimes at once. But you're just aware of this three-dimensional part of you, the denser part of you, the physical part of you. But really, we're much, much more than that. It's almost like they're showing me a geyser of water, of sprays of water, and we're experiencing that spray and that spray, that spray, that spray. They're all part of that wholeness of who we are as a soul. So, defining a soul as far as age-wise, it goes against what the soul really is. The soul is limitless. The soul is ageless. It's just experiences. Okay, sweetheart? That's a good answer. Okay. Okay. Okay, yes. You're okay. Thank you, Becky. Alexandra. Hi, Alexandra. Thank you, James, for the weekend in Basel. Oh, you're very welcome. That was great. And working the mediumship was great and fantastic to see you. Best time in long track. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Alexandra. Okay. Then Laura Essing, grief is all about adaptation. It's very true. It's so grief is all about adaptation. Laura Essing said, yes, Laura, good to see you again, Laura. It is about adaptation. It's a lesson. So remember, it's all soul lessons, and grief is a big one for this human experience. It's letting go, right? It's adaptation. It's getting used to. And the human in me missed my son's physical appearance will be 2 years old this month. Yes. So, and then we can just kind of take it apart in that. Let's unpack that, what grief is. So grief is a lesson, a human lesson, that we souls come back to the schoolroom, this three-dimensional earth called the soul school. And there are many, many different classes that we could take. And one of the big ones, like reserved for the highly evolved souls, are the loss of a child. I really believe that. It's one of the hardest illusions that there are in this three-dimensional world, because you have the love of this child, this essence is beautiful, and then they leave, and it's like, what is that about? So natural law, whatever that is, right, we're used to, says that we're supposed to live for many, many years, and it's unnatural for us to just have a baby and they die a year later or 3 months. But if we change our perspective and we look at everything from a soul's experience, that's really the way you should look at it as truth, because the soul just needs to experience a year or 2 years, or the birth experience that soul needed. And the soul group, mothers, fathers, relatives, if you will, friends, got together before the incarnation of all the souls, of all of your soul family. And among you decided, okay, we need to learn the experience about losing a child at 1 year of age, or losing a child after, or abortion, or miscarriage, or addiction, whatever it might be. Okay, I'll volunteer for that, and I'll volunteer. And we learn from these things from each other. It's an amazing experience that we let another soul we love so much go through that experience, and then we won't be with them. It's kind of like a sacrifice, but we do the best that we can for them and for us, for all of us, because we're in the same group. So interesting enough, I think when we make these choices in this spiritual world, and then we come back to this physical world, once we come through, like right before we're born, we go through, it's called the valley of forgetfulness, and the soul's coming down probably around the 9th month, could be the 10th month, comes down 8th, 9th, 10th month, and before it gets into the body, it's attached into that mother's body there, which is around the 9th month, can go out to the 10th. There is what's called the valley of forgetfulness, where you start with a clean slate and you forget everything as far as past lives, why you came back, the soul experiences you're going to go through, soul knowledge, and you start with a clean slate. And I say it's a matter of grace from God that we're given that, because if we came back and we knew everything from our past experiences, lifetimes, and so forth, we'd be so obsessed with getting that right that we wouldn't work on this time, this experience this time around. You have to go through school this time. We'd be so obsessed about the past, we wouldn't advance this time around. So that's why we're not shown those things. But I will say, the more you can tune yourself to your soul through meditation, through sitting in the stillness of your being and becoming aware of that beautiful being that is this experiencer, right? The soul experiencer, you can begin to understand patterns of your soul, experiences of your soul, have different awareness of your soul, honor your soul, and just see the different experiences it's gone through many, many lifetimes. And not only here in the human world, but could be many other galaxies and spaces and places that we do go through, liquid form, gaseous form, in all different types of ways that life is experienced in all different means. So it's opening ourselves up. So that's just the way I look at it. At grief, I think also another part of grief is that we go through it because later on we're going to help somebody else who has the same experience. I know, Laura, in your case, definitely you're going to help somebody else later on who's done that, who's going through it. We're good. Damien Brenz. Oh, okay. Go there. If Cindy first. Okay, Renee. James, hi. Hi, Cindy. I have a quick question. Can you connect to spirits that aren't ghosts? If they are here talking to us, does that mean they are stuck? No, there's no such thing as stuck. So I think that is a misnomer. I think that's very human. I did a show called Ghost Whisperer, which is about earthbound spirits. But I have to tell you that many people think that you get stuck. There's no way you'd get stuck going home. That's our home. We have loved ones that come and get us. That's our natural space. This is not. This is a human space. There is no entrapment per se of the being. Now, but with that, the caveat that in the mindset, there could be something that holds us back. In that, if it's an emotional upset, if there's an emotional connection that holds us back, or if we think in our head, well, I can't go into that spiritual world because I'm not good enough, and I might see the devil, then it'll hold us back to a certain level. It's a mindset. But as a whole, I don't really believe that there are spirits hanging out that are stuck. I think it's a human conception. Okay. Great. Okay. Damien, let me ask this. Damien. Hi, Damien. A friend of mine wants to commit suicide this night. I can do nothing because I can't teach her anymore. I told her there is no death. What can I do? Wow, Damien. Well, I think you can only do so much, but you should maybe talk to her again and explain to her, maybe try to talk her down, if you will. Try to talk her down in the sense that try to point out the good things that are here for her, the loving things, the things that might happen. And then right now that we're stuck maybe in a space where there's limitations, maybe we're with everything going on in the world and wars and fear and all this negative stuff, that maybe she's attuned to that instead of just some positive things. So try to talk to her and talk about the positive things about herself, about the world, and also talk about what's going to happen, like new goals that she can reach, new understandings, love that from people all around her. And if she leaves the body, that she won't be out of her pain, that she will still be it'll be even more so, because a pain like that in our mind 10 times, 20 times, 30 times stronger than originally experienced here. So we don't want to do that. No one should cut school. Yeah. But I do believe there are some souls whose destiny might be to leave the body. But with the one that sounds like with you or with your friend, it sounds like she's reaching out to help. And I think you can only do so much. But try to, again, enforce the positive things that are waiting for her here, and that there is no end, as you said, no death. And maybe give her some more emotional support, because I think she needs that. Okay, good luck. Good luck, my friend. Okay. Yes. Hi, Anna. Hi from Nashville. Hello, Nashville. Dreams. Do you think they're memories from past lives or other dimensions? I think they're everything. So, and I think you can't just put in one type of dream. There are all different types of dreams. So there are some dreams where, we leave our body every night we go to sleep. The spirit will leave out of the top of the head, the crown chakra, and experience the spiritual realms. And experience in those realms past life experiences, loved ones who passed over, beings from before. We can see the future lives, if you will. So all different types of things. So I think that there are certainly memories, but it could be past lives, but also future lives. It's all different. Many times we get to work on upcoming events that are going to happen in our physical life, and we work on them in the in between times. So and sometimes the conscious mind will remember that. So I often think deja vu is when the physical consciousness remembers an experience that it was going through in between the waking sleep and the sleeping state. It's like, oh, I remember this. So I think that's really more of that. It could be, of course, be deja vu from experience of past life when you physically had a past life, or people. I now just had in Switzerland, I had a past experience. It wasn't past life, it was a memory. And I looked at this lady's face, lovely Pia, her name was, in Switzerland. And I looked into her eyes and I said, I know you. And she said, I know you. And we just knew each other on that soul level. And it was that happen. And it wasn't a past life. It was just, it was just the way it was. And that's really cool too. And you get that the more open you are and the more you release any preconceived notions or expectations. It works really, really well. Okay. You're very welcome. Hey, Deanne, how are you, Deanne? I know this is about pets. It can be about anything right now. Tomorrow is going to be about pets. So, but I haven't been able to feel my closest earthly bonds from the spirit realm. I know this is about pets, but I have been able to feel my closest earthly bonds from the spirit realm. I hear more or less, it seems that time has passed since their death. Do you know why this is? You know, Deanne, it sounds, everybody's different, right? So every medium is different. Everybody receives information differently. It sounds like to me that you're putting a little bit more thought into it, and like you're in your head a little bit about it. And when you're in the head and we think about it, we kind of disturb it. We kind of dirty the waters because we put that critical, judgmental mind on it. And really, it's just a matter of surrendering to this, I call it the soft mind, just be with that softness. And that's the way it should be. But if we start placing expectations, or it has to be a certain way, or spirits will only be here for in this time, it's beyond us. Remember, it goes beyond us. Time goes beyond us. Spirit people are always around us. Some are better at coming through to us than others. Some will be easier to send memories, visions of memories, or personalities through than other ones. So everyone's different. It's all a process. But as long as we can be still and soften the mind and come from the heart self, not the head self, the easier it'll be to understand them. Okay. Hi, Matthew. When our souls reincarnate, do our spirits from a particular lifetime stay in the fifth dimension? It's a great question, Matthew. I love the way you think. So let's look at that. So I like that. When our souls reincarnate, the spirits from a particular lifetime stay in the fifth dimension. Perfect. So again, I'm going to step out of this, that there is no time. So if we look at there's no time, we're aware right now of the physical body. And I've said this many times, and I love this analogy. Think of the soul as this lovely beam of light, or beams of light, or a geyser of water. And that most of the soul, 70%, if you will, maybe 75, is outside the body, is all around us, on other realms and other spheres and other levels of awareness, right? Just like we have gamma rays and X-rays and microwaves all around us, we don't see them because they're at a higher frequency. They're outside the human spectrum. Same thing, I think, for those soul energies, soul levels. So I believe that this physical body, this is like 20, 30% of the soul. I call it the big toe to the soul, because most of the soul is out there. So we're so into this root part of us, this toe part of us, that we forget about all that over there. I do believe that when we leave from the awareness of the physical body, we go and step back into that realm of awareness, of soul awareness. And this is just one sliver of your soul. Your soul's all part of that. So the past, present, future, so if you talk about past lives, future lives, and current life, I think all of them can be mixed into one. So like quantum physics. I don't understand quantum physics, but I do know that the past, present, and future can be all one. And just with one thought, one word, one action, you can change the past, you can change the future based on what you put out and you create at the moment. I'll leave you with that. Okay, thanks, Matthew. Rebecca Horner, hello from Australia. Hello, darling, Australia. My father passed 3 years ago. I can't move on. I don't know why I'm stuck. Okay, Rebecca. Well, I wrote a book called Healing Grief, which you should look that up. And I would, if I were you, Rebecca, I would write a letter to your dad. and really make it heartfelt, because I just have a sense that there were some things that were left unsaid from him and for you. But write him a letter, your deepest feelings, your emotions, and let him receive it. They receive our words, they hear our thoughts, and maybe that this is a good uh, exercise for you to let go of that, all the stuff you've been holding on to, whether it's resentments, whether it's guilt, whether it's just certain things you never got to say. And I would just write that letter, and I don't know how long you want, 2 pages, 3 pages, and put it in an envelope, and then put his name on it. And then what I would do is I'd put it in a desk or put it away. And then on your calendar, exactly a week from now, when you write that letter, I want you to put in your calendar another letter coming. So in a week's time, you're going to write a letter, and you just do that breathing. You come back to your your very balanced breathing, come back to yourself, that beautiful, soft way. I want you to pull out a piece of paper and a pen, and I want you to vision your dad. And I want your dad to write you a letter. So you're going to be like holding the pen, and just let your dad, and don't think about it. Just feel his energy. And if it's him, it is. It isn't, don't worry about it. Actually, I want you thinking about it, and just let yourself write, automatic writing. And it works really, really well. I think that will help you. Okay, sweetheart. Good luck, Rebecca. You can do it. Hi, Amy. My partner passed away last year at home. I'm sorry, sweetheart. It is true that death is a part of life, isn't it? It's amazing. Transition, movement. The only constant we have is movement. Often I end up in a conversation with him in my head. Good. I'm at the stovetop. Perfect. How to tell if it's really him or just me knowing what he would say? It doesn't matter, Amy. Doesn't matter. So I would tell you this, that I hear them all the time like that in my head. And it's a soft thing. And it's really interesting, because I would think, was it coming from me or is it them? But then there's a small, slight little subtlety that it's them. It's so soft. And because your partner loves you so much, that love is what brings them in. So you have to feel that, you might feel their personality. And ask around when you're getting those thoughts in your head, something that only you two would know, or something different to give you something in your mind that would be something different you wouldn't even think about. That's how I receive it. It's hard for me to receive my own personal family, but when I do get them, and I had a mom come through, and I asked her to do something special, and she did. She showed me something, and it was a jade piece of jewelry, which I forgot that she had, and she placed it in my hand, and I knew that was from her. So there's a difference there. So again, go with the heart, not the head. You have to go with the heart. The head will criticize and judge it. Very good. Keep on going, Amy. Okay. Hi, Tati, T-A-T-I, Teti. I'm still in jet lag, so forgive me. Thank you, dear James, for talking to Heaven Deck. You're very welcome. I'd help enormously to deal with the loss of my mom. Greetings from Latvia. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Yeah, the Talking to Heaven deck is a really good deck. Next week, I'll do a readings with the deck. But that was channeled, the information from the cards. A really quick story I have about that deck, Talking to Heaven deck, the oracle cards. It's messages from the spirit world, and there were 42 cards. And I did it with Doreen Virtue, who was really just put her name on it, but now she's off of it. But it was me really just channeling, bringing through certain messages. Now, this is a very interesting story. The intelligence of the spirit world is so incredible, so beyond us. They're like, wow. And this is a great example of that, because we never do anything alone. We're never alone. They're always hand in hand, step by step. They're right around us. And here is an example of the intelligence of that world, how they get to manifest these things, maneuver these things, alter these things. I don't know. I'm fascinated with the materialization, the manifestation, how they can materialize certain things like feathers or coins or ways of letting you know they're there. But mine is really interesting. I was in New Jersey once, and it was an event I was doing. And I remember that there was a lady, it was a friend at the time, Nancy, and her husband. They were there. And Nancy was a nice Brooklyn New Yorker who lived upstate New York. And she was obsessed about death her whole life. And she even had a death tree in her bedroom with people's names on it. So she lost, I think, a brother, a mother, a family member, and she's very obsessed about it. And she came to my event and backstage, and I said, Nancy, did you get a card deck of Talking to Heaven cards? And she goes, no. I said, oh, you should get one. You just get one. It's on me. Just go get it. So she did. Now, it's fascinating because she was always obsessed, like I said, about grief and about death. And she came backstage with the card deck. She sat down. She opened it up. We're all watching. I said, okay, open it up. And I said, now just take out the box and just shuffle them around, and then ask a question. And I went the whole thing, how you do it. She closed her eyes and she pulls 3 different cards out. One card says, there is no death. She goes, next card, and she's going all through it, pulls another card. There is no death. Now I'm aware of what's going on here. This is really weird. Third time, she pulls a card. There is no death. Three cards. There is no death. There was a misprint in that particular deck. What are the odds of that? Millions, right? And there was no other misprint in any of the other decks. That was the one with a misprint, and it was the one that she chose. So it really goes into like, wow, how does that done? And it's again, the intelligence of the spirit world is so incredible that we realize that that happens, that there's so much more aware of these things. And we just got to really go. I love this Buddhist saying, just go with the flow. You can't push the river, go with the flow, because we got to get through it, and we just can't push it. Release control, just surrender to it. But there's a greater intelligence, which is, to me, I'm in awe of that. Okay. Thank you very much there. Okay. Deanne, is it harder for a spirit to connect the longer they have gone? Well, Deanne, I'm going to ask you, what was it like? Who sat in front of you in high school? So how many years ago is that? So it's just a sense of familiarity. So the longer the time goes by, the harder, only because it's so much time and things have phases and memories and new experiences have happened. So you're asking them to go all the way back to a certain time and space. And that's very interesting, because if you're in the spiritual realm and there is no time, and you're open to the essence of all around you, and you're involved in different worlds within worlds within worlds, and then you're asked to go back by someone to a very finite time years ago and remember the nickname or remember the time, it's really hard. The thing that I found in my mediumship is that they come back easier when there's an emotional memory, childhood memory the father used to have going fishing with the kids, or the way they sat and had holiday time together at the dining table, or something really emotionally that there was love there. They tend to come through easier that way. So it's harder when this human being, the earthling, demands and commands them to be a certain way. They can't do that. I did a reading in England just recently. I remember it was a bunch of mediums there in the audience, and I said, one lady, her father came through really well, and he talked about the rocking chair, and she said, yes, and you just moved it, yes, and you just got a pillow on the rocking chair, and you placed it there, yes, can you tell me what shape it is? And I looked at her, and I said, that's not respectful to the process, because you know how hard it is to do that, and why would the spirit be so involved with that? So, and it was a joke, she said later on, but I didn't take that as a joke. But you got to remember that there's got to be a lot of respect and with the process of it. It's a miracle to me every time we're able to do this spirit communication, because it is a miracle. The moment I think it's not a miracle anymore, then I stop doing the work. You can never take it for granted, because it is a miracle each time. Okay. I'm a queen. Hi, James, Los Angeles. Hello there. I'm a queen. I follow you for over 30 years. Thank you. Can I ask you, how do we overcome depression, the feeling of being stuck in life? So this is a good question for you, for all of us, in that, number one, it could be an actual chemical imbalance, something going on with the brain or the hormones. So I'm not a doctor, but if you want to check out with a doctor, make sure your levels are all even, because I have found sometimes when levels aren't even, it can affect us, our mood swings, and can be depression, and other things happen. So that'd be the first thing, is when I check that out, make sure all your levels are fine, normal. And then I would invest in maybe moving the energy. So working out really helps get the endorphins going, right? You want the endorphins to go. And then again, an assessment of yourself, in that, whose life are you living? Are you living your life or somebody else's life? Are there entrapments in your experience? Are you living up to someone else's expectations, not yours? And what are you? There are trappings in your life or not? Unrealistic trappings. So it's a good time for an assessment of yourself at this time. When you're feeling down, try to find that light. Try to find who you really are. Go back to when you were 3 or 4 or 5 years of age, and how happy and joyful you were. Go back to that moment. It's stored in your brain. It's stored in their mind, I should say. It's right there. So bring that out. I remember when I was growing up, there was old little catalogs. Remember, we used to have the little cards, catalog cards in the library, those index cards. I think the mind is that. Of all these index cards. I think you can pull out a joyful card if you're young. That's who you are. But I would check it all out. I'm a queen. It's an opportunity for you. God bless you. Okay. Hi, Frankie. Also, I love the book you wrote regarding pets that pass. Yes. It's given me so much comfort. I got a lot of rescue. I'll see them again. It gives me a space. Thank you. Yes. And there's also a great, The Rainbow Bridge is a great poem written about the animals pass over. And, for them, it's just so natural. It's a wonderful thing. And I look and see what can I learn from my doggy, I mean, look at this lovely girl sitting down there. Can I show you her? No, I can't. Oh, well. No, I wish I could. She's sitting right down here. Okay. Aloha, Kamani. Hello, James. Just wanted to say thank you so much for making me feel better and not so triggered. Yeah, it's interesting to see what our triggers are in life. What are our triggers? And we can make a list of them. What the trigger is, what triggered us, and why. What triggered us and why. And the third column would be how you're going to handle that now. It's always an opportunity. Every moment in life, every experience is an opportunity to learn, to grow, to have insights, to understand. We don't know it all. If we just, I always call it the art of discovery. If you just go in life and have that beautiful art of discovery, what am I going to learn here? What am I going to learn there? And everybody who comes in your path every single day, everyone, whether it's in the store, whether it's in a line for gasoline, whether it's going to a movie, people that you meet, interact with, they're a teacher or a student of yours. Are you going to make their lives better by you being there and present with them? You should. Or are they going to make your life better or help you understand something? So even people that are angry and upset in traffic, a lot of that. And I often say, thank you. And I just got to stop people every once in a while. You got to stop people every once in a while and just say, stop, breathe, because you don't want people to caught up in the phonetic energy, especially now. It's a bit rough. So help them to stop, pause, and look at themselves from their heart, not their head. Okay. Thank you, Betty. I missed it also. So tonight we're going to have Daniel McKinnon tonight at Both Sides Now, and that's at 6:00 tonight, and talk all about the animal course that starts tomorrow. All right, my friends, we'll see you later, and good to see you again. Okay, bye-bye now.